position with 5 to go. And there's the reason. It's Tyler Reddick at turn 8 again.
Oh, what huge point implications.
I don't have reverse.
Said he doesn't have reverse. That's Tyler on the radio. He was running in the 10th spot. He was going to have a decent day here, but this is really going to hurt him.
He had slipped to 3rd in the points the way they were running on the track. And boy, it could get a lot worse now. Contact right there.
Oh, both of those trucks into the tire barrier.
Corbin Forrester, Jennifer Jo Cobb. Watch this. You were talking about closing speeds before.
Yeah, she had some sort of a problem. It looked like leaving the corner and just got really, really slow. And he just could not get slowed down. Here you go, right here. Oh, yeah. Must have had a tire problem or something. Like a tire went down, went up and hit the wall. Something happened. She got really slow, and he just, obviously, he couldn't avoid it. He didn't do anything wrong.
And look, that happened right in front of race leader Kyle Busch.
Oh, he did hit.
Yeah. We have a hard crash on the backstretch. The 14 of Cale Conley. Heavy contact. And it looked like the 15 of Stanton Barrett as well involved.
DJ, that's a Dover wreck if I've ever seen one. There's nowhere to hide. If you spin on one of these straightaways, if you don't get caught in the outside wall, the inside wall will get you. You see here, 15 car has a fire under the hood. Drove it right to the safety trucks. That's what they actually inform you to do in the driver's meetings. If you can, bring that to the safety workers. Now he needs to drop the lint on that and get out.
Yeah, don't make them chase you down. Get there as quickly as you possibly can and then get out.
They weren't racing for position either.
Well, we have the 15 getting sideways, and then Cale Conley just in the wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately.
And this is going to be a hard hit because I think I know where Cale Conley's going to end up. I've seen this play before. This inside wall.
Yeah, there's safer barrier there now, which is a great move that the Speedway did, and NASCAR mandating that happens. Certainly not as hard as it was, but still a hard lick.
Now, Lee, what do? You have enough fuel to keep running. Rain is right on the edge of us. As a crew chief, you're Kyle Busch's crew chief. You probably need some tires, fuel and tires, if you're going to continue this race. But if you're farther down, are you going to stay out and think it might start raining under the caution? We saw this. David Rudiman years back wins the Coca-Cola 600 by not doing anything. By staying on the racetrack, that same opportunity perhaps could present itself today. This is going to be a line in the sand for a lot of these race teams.
Yeah, there's no reason for someone, Jeremy Clements back in 15th spot or Brendan Gaughan back in 17th, still in the lead lap. No reason for them to pit until they know this race is going to go back to green.
If I'm Ben Rhodes' crew chief Dave Ellens, perhaps I stay out to see if it rains. If it doesn't rain, I could come in. I do lose my track position, but I could take a little more time fixing the body, getting ready for that last 90-lap run to the checker.
The 88 is involved. The 15 as well.
This 88 was one of the teams that chose to just come and get 4 tires. He was trying to use those tires, get back up through the field. They were racing 2, 3, and 4 wide down the backstretch. Yeah, the 88's really trying to push the issue on these new tires. He tries to get to the outside of Ty Dillon. You see the 15 come up, actually, and get into Ty Dillon. That causes the 15 to go around. He catches the 88 in the left rear quarter panel. Really, the first replay, I thought it was the 88 that pushed the 33, but looking at it a second time, that's not what happened. It looked like Clint Boyer got into the 33, got himself spun around, and caused the accident behind him.
I don't know what the hell happened to our car. I was kind of optimistic about the race, and we made a pit stop there, and the car is just a way big handful there. And I don't know, I was coming off a 2 there, and Ty was kind of got squirrely, and I tried to stay off of him, and my car got loose, and I just couldn't catch it. It was, I don't know, we just lost the handling on our car big time there, and unfortunately ended, you hate to end this way. I wanted to end, on a strong note for everybody at MWR. Appreciate all their hard work and efforts, all these years, but unfortunately it's over.
Side by side as they go through 3 and 4.
They're together. Oh, they're together.
And there goes Sauter. Oh, man. Huge implications.
It looks like Eric Jones may be able to survive that contact.
Not that 88 truck.
Man, no way.
Here, man.
Sauter's truck taken out, the 88 heavy damage, and how about the 4?
You can just see right there the truck was up the hill. Jones had to make the corner, and then he slides down and takes out his teammate as well.
You know, Eric Jones made a little more severe contact with the outside wall than I initially thought. Looks like he bopped it pretty good.
Ride along and listen.
Matt was trying to stay off Eric Jones, and certainly no intent whatsoever, just hard racing. He knew that if he lost that lead, he probably lost the race.
And the championship.
And the championship.
Keep coming. Hey, Rick, behind you. Yellow's out. Yellow's out.
There goes Daniel Suarez, Joey Gase, Ryan Reed, John West Townley, all involved as the leader started to come down pit road. Brendan Gaughan was sideways on the pit lane. Oh my goodness.
So unfortunate. These guys are having such a tough time getting to pit road today.
Ty Dillon, one of those that had issues.
There's going to be someone that doesn't get the memo that cars are pitting. Suarez locks up. He gets hit in the back by the 39 of Ryan Sieg, and just chain reaction from there.
On board with Daniel Suarez.
So
there was a white car that was up in the middle of the groove.
Riding with Daytona winner Ryan Reed.
Oh. Stay high, hustle, hustle, hustle. God, dang it.
He just about got through there.
Looks like
they turned us around here. They wrecked behind us and got us. The back is killed.
Number of drivers coming down pit road. Brendan Gaughan, you see here, colliding with the pit sign holder of the 98 of Eric Almirola. 2 pit crew members were hurt on that 98 team. One of them taken to the infield care center and released. Another taken to a local hospital for further evaluation. That's the latest we have on that situation.
Change to the 88. A crash on the track, Rick. 32 of Joey Gase bringing out to caution, and a few cars on pit road.
I don't know what the hell happened there.
Will they be trapped a lap down? Kyle Busch and the 18 team already on pit road before pit road is closed. Pit road is closed when the caution comes out, but if you're already on pit road and doing service, you definitely make sure to continue your service.
It probably depends. Right here, it's 78, don't speed. It's a little bit confusing, Rick, but the rule is very simple. When you're on pit road and the change of flag on the racetrack happens, it goes to caution. You then race the leader to either the start-finish line if you are pitted before the start-finish line, which here at Phoenix are very few pit stalls, or to pit out, which is all the way down in turn 1. So it's 2 separate timing lines for each of pit road. That takes NASCAR time to go through it. It's a little confusing, but what an untimely caution for some of our chase cars.
Right.
Hard left turn for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And let's look back at what took place.
So Ricky Stenhouse on the inside of it. They just make contact getting into turn 3. Heavy contact for both cars.
Hard into the outside wall for both drivers. See all the right side damage to the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They immediately took that car back into the garage. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was running 16th, not on the lead lap.
Oh gosh, the 42 just got in the back of the 40 right there going down the front straightaway.
And Landon Castle pounded the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Head on and hard.
Larson wasn't sure which way the 40 was going to go, and he pounded and hit him.
Castle was the last place car in the race.
Come off the corner here. Looked like Larson started to go the inside. He saw the 26 of Jeff Burton there. He started back to the outside, and the 40 was there, and he clipped him. See right here, he said, okay, I can't go that way. I got to go this way. And there was a 40, and he clipped him, and what an impact.
Just really frustrated. You know, I clearly came down on the 42, and I knew he was back there, but I didn't know how far back there, and the 26 went to the bottom, and I wanted to get behind him so the 42 could go on the outside, and then all of a sudden my spotter said inside. So he must have just had a huge run on me, and you know, it's really frustrating. I hope the 42 didn't get any damage. you know, they're playing a really smart pit strategy, and I hope it works out for them.
Around goes the 20.
Keep coming, shove through it.
Kids at the round, out in front of the field. The 41 has damage. Joey Logano clears him, but the 2, incredible damage on the 2 of Brad Keselowski as well.
They took off slow, and the 22 got at the racetrack. The 2 got in the back of the 22. They come off the corner, and the 20 and the 2 make contact. It's on from there.
Yeah, and the 41, it really has nowhere to go. They spin and catch the 41. He makes heavy contact with the inside wall.
It's coming off turn 2. There's the initial contact.
Look at the 41. It's a big hit. But, you know, this all started on the restart. They just didn't do as good of a job this time of making all the transitions work, and it got everybody checked up.
Outside 24, outside tight, right there in front of you. Keep coming, straight.
Where the 41 hits, that inside wall, that's actually a new safer barrier there. It used to just be a concrete wall.
Oh, there we go. Darrell Wallace Jr. around. Chad Boat into the wall. Ty Dillon, the championship leader, is in it.
Poor Ty Dillon, he just can't stay out of trouble today.
But he keeps that thing headed in the right direction.
Casey Kane involved.
Oh, all line for Casey Kane. There's Boat in the center in that 84 car. You say you seen him make a big move, Jeff?
Yeah, I thought that I saw him.
Ooh, he lost his momentum.
No, he just lost his momentum there, and looks like Ty just got into his left rear a little bit and turned him around.
What a tough break for Darrell Wallace Jr. Ty Dillon just nowhere to go there.
Look at Boris Said and Mario Gosselin. They're just sliding right through the middle of all that carnage, that mess, and they make it through.
Work with him there. Oh, and McMurray goes around in front of the field.
Huge wreck.
Paul Menard is in it. Clint Boyer is in it. Menard is hit by Casey Kane. His car's all torn up. And McMurray bounces off the wall, pulls away. There's Tony Stewart. His car stopped. There's Menard. And McMurray heads toward the garage.
Car, I mean, a lot of good cars here. This reminds me of last year. We had a very similar situation last year.
Huge benefit for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 88 car.
I guess.
Kurt Busch heading for pit road in a shower of sparks. At 200 miles an hour, when one car gets sideways in front of 2/3 of the field, this is the result.
Well, we'll see what started this one. We're coming off turn 4 here, all bottled up, bunched up. All it takes is just a little bit of a tap from somebody from behind. See right there, it looked like Greg Biffle may have gotten into the back of the one car. Not sure. Jamie McMurray, that's in him around, and then it's on from there. He just starts taking out cars left and right.
Biffle got into McMurray, but did Joey Logano give Biffle a shove into McMurray?
There's our champ, Kevin Harvick. He got damaged. Danica look at her come through here. I don't think she ever makes any contact with anybody. No, she doesn't. She's clean.
Kyle Busch almost missed it. He got it in the left front. And Menard got hit about 4 times.
Right at the end, the 48 gets into the 11. Trouble back straight away, guys.
Trevor Bayne.
A number of cars
and
involved.
more. Logano is in it.
Crashing all. Oh, man.
Happen.
Look at that.
Looked like half the field piled up on lap 47.
Bottom of the rear turn. Got back.
I saw Menard coming off of turn 2 over there, and he was flying.
He had a big run.
Fast race car, guys. Sorry, guys. I don't know if the 27.
That was Trevor Bayne talking. Paul Menard in the 27 had a big run on the number 6 of Trevor Bayne.
Oh, man. Gosh, this 6 just started to turn all by itself. I mean, as
But Darrell, do you think the 27 car being out there on the outside, it just pulled the back end of Trevor Bayne's 6 car around?
It had to, Larry, because the car was not in any, there was nobody around him except that 27 closing fast. See right here, he gets a big run coming. You got I think that's Tony Stewart down below him. He's got cars on both sides of him.
And then Kurt Busch got into Bayne, and into the wall he went.
But what I felt was when the 27 went around us on the top there, it's just going to pull you around almost every time. And now I see that Kurt's pretty close to our left rear, so that's double trouble. You know, when you get the air moving around here at these high speeds, it's as much as physically hitting each other. I hate that for our race team. We had a super fast Advocare 4 today, and I thought this is one of those places you can get a win. You can make your way into the chase or run top 5, and our car was really fast. We worked our way into the top 5 a couple times from qualifying toward the back, and I was really confident with how it drove and how it was racing around other cars. Seemed like people wanted to work with us, and then just that late move to the outside there with a 27 car. Everybody's racing hard pretty early. I'd hoped we could all ride a little bit longer on the top and then sort it out later, but we hate to have a fast race car on a wrecker, and hate it for everybody else that got torn up, but especially our Advocare Ford.
Oh, problems here. Every pit road, and going over the double jump is the 15, just launching the truck into the sky is Mason Mingus. Look at all the damage left behind. I mean, he got all 4 wheels off the ground. Watch how fast he came in here.
Just coming in too
hot on entry. I don't know if maybe the brakes didn't. It seemed like the brakes got to working good right before he hit the grass. Look at that thing ramp up in the air. A really difficult pit road to get to, Phil, because it's right way around the turn. So, but that wasn't even close.
It sure wasn't. A lot of damage to Mason Mingus's truck as well, as you see Timothy Peters go by. Watch this view right here.
Orange cone out of the way safely.
Look like Joey Chitwood or something.
Yeah.
Or the Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard.
That's incredible.
It's a big story, the way he hit.
Red flag is out at Watkins Glen. We welcome you back to Xfinity Series practice number 1. Unfortunately, that is the 18 car of Daniel Suarez just coming out of the bus stop and into the carousel. Steve?
Yeah, we talk about how fast this track is for the whole Sprint Cup practice. You see right at the top of your screen, Daniel Suarez is already sideways. He's exited the bus stop, turning hard to get into the carousel, has lost the back of the race cars, tried to spin around on him. Wow. And you see heavy driver's side contact. Luckily, there's those tires there, Kyle, so it's not directly into the guardrail.
Starts going around. Oh man.
That's a crash.
There goes Brian Scott hard into the wall. Third caution of the day.
Get in under the 22.
Oh!
I've seen it. Gonna be on the hook.
Wow. And you can see Blaney on the bottom. Gets a little bit loose on the exit. It gives Brian Scott the inside.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there, but they made contact before they got to the corner. It's like the 22 came down a little bit and got into the side of the 2, but that started for the 22 in turn 4 when he touched the apron. And when he touched the apron right there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't really tell what looked like maybe the 22 just went to turn in the normal corner, and Brian was still going straight a bit.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like the 22 came down and got into the side of the 2, and that just caused that whole mess.
Brian, you took a big hit by Jamie Dick out there, but it all started before that. What happened between you and Ryan Blaney?
Yeah, the 22 is kind of out of control, and he got real loose off of 4, so I got to run on his inside going into turn 1. And I feel like he just didn't give me any room. I feel like I went in there and he was stuck to my door, and it caused me to just suck around. Yeah, as soon as I tried to turn down in the corner, I was loose. Sucks. I guess it's a product of restarts here at Dover. We were so, yeah, that one hurt. But it was great to have Acme and Craft Singles on board. We obviously wanted to give them a lot better run for everybody. We have a big group here, so I got to say thank you to them. And hopefully we'll have a better day tomorrow in the Cup Series.
And around goes the pack in the middle. Darrell Wallace Jr. gets caught up. The big one happens just as they go through the tri-oval. Back up into the wall hard, Brendan Poole. Eric Almirola caught up in this in the 98. The caution comes out.
Point it here, guys.
Good to see that window net coming down. He had a hard hit, head-on impact. That was a big hit.
Let's take another look at how it happened.
See Brendan Gaughan in the middle there. Ryan Reed gets hit by the 3 car, pushes him into Brendan Gaughan, and then it's on from there.
Daniel Suarez caught up in this as well. Regan Smith.
Look at the job right there. Casey Kane in the 88 gets on the brakes. The crash happens, gets off the brakes, back on the gas to drive out of it. So you see right here, the 3 is pushing the 16, trying to help him. He doesn't want to spin this car out. He's trying to help him, push him towards the front. He gets a little to the right rear, causing the 16 to turn left. It hits the 62, which picks up the 6. And then as they come back up the racetrack, there's nowhere for these guys to go.
Riding along with Darrell Wallace Jr. So violent.
He'll sound the only driver that pitted early that is still on the lead lap. Only 19 cars on the lead lap. Now Kyle Busch, who's out in front in the 54, seems as though everything going well, but the caution has now come out. And Kyle Busch sure now will be making his way onto pit road, but on the radio they had been talking about a vibration as you see the damage to the 97 of Dylan Kwasniewski.
It's a hard impact for the 97 car.
Definitely narrowed up the front of that car.
See, this is the shot we showed a little while ago. Oh, that's a big hit. Entering the dog leg, you're a long way from the wall, and that dog leg, the way the wall is shaped, that was an exceptionally hard hit. Thank goodness for safer barriers and all the other safety innovations, because that was a hard impact.
And that's not an area that you would expect a driver to lose control of the race car, especially as straight as that 97 went. So you have to look at perhaps, there it is, a real speed, a big impact right there, a tough angle. You'd expect to be looking at a mechanical problem, perhaps a puncture in a tire, something made that 97 car go straight there for Dylan.
Oh, we got one moving into we saw this on pit road early. Casey Kane hits the inside wall and knocks it down. Saw some guys' helmets that were sitting up there. So a problem with Casey Kane's car. Goes onto pit road and the caution's out.
We saw this Saturday in practice, almost identical to that. We talked about how rare it is that it can happen. It's happened twice in 2 days. It's coming off turn 3, approaching the front straightaway. You can see Casey's all by himself, gets loose. Same thing we saw with Jeb Burton the other day, almost in the same tread marks. Can't get the car all the way spun out. Now I'll be honest with you, he's long for the ride, trying to keep from hitting the inside wall, but there's just no stopping it at this point.
And as you mentioned, 2 days in a row now we have seen something similar to this. As I mentioned, some of the things that were sitting on pit road, crew members will put their helmets on pit road waiting before they have to go out there for a pit stop, and we've seen on these replays some things flying, one of those being a helmet.
And this actually happened between Travis Quapple's pit and A.J. Allmendinger's pit. You can see a piece of Casey Kane's car physically embedded in the wall. You can't get it out. And if you look on the backside here, it's actually come through the other side as well. The wall did buckle a little bit. Everybody down here, first of all, we should tell you, is safe. Everything is fine. As you mentioned, guys, those were helmets just sitting on the wall. Everybody got out of the way in plenty of time. Nobody down here injured at all. A lot of scattering. Brandon Nagdowski, the track president, is down here checking this out.
Well, first I was like, I can't believe I'm clear over here this late in the corner, and then all the way to the left heading towards pit wall. And then I saw the people. I was like, man, you guys better take off running, like get out of the way. I didn't know. I hadn't done anything like that before, so it's kind of crazy the way it all happened. But I don't know why we're so far, what the deal was right there.
Yeah, Casey Kane obviously upset about his race today, but also glad that all the folks and himself just fine, Rick.
Whoa, here Stewart goes smoke around into Biffle.
Tony Stewart goes around. And caution waves yet again.
More cars.
Kurt Busch and Greg Biffle, a hard hit there.
And the answer to your question before that restart? No. I guess we
get the inside wall hard.
Greg Biffle pounded the inside wall, but he wants to drive it home. Kurt Busch will not be so fortunate, I don't think. Yep, that's far enough.
Oh, looks like the 18 and the 14 made some contact. Looked like smoke kind of drifted up in front of Kyle Busch, and they made a little contact, and that turned the 14 right down the hill.
Jeff Gordon, another near miss. And Kurt Busch all torn up. Not sure he could even see the 16.
Yeah, and where he
Coming
hit
off
that
the wall here. Pow!
Where the 16, I guess the 16 or 4, I don't know which one hit at the end of the wall. I think the 16 did.
Darrell, did it look like the way that the 14, Tony Stewart, went across the front of the 18, he just got loose right there?
It did, Larry. I'm not sure they made contact, but the air off of the 16 is what sucked the 14 around, and that is an incredibly hard hit. My gosh, I'm glad. Oh, and then here comes
Neither could control their car,
No.
and I don't think either one could see.
and piled right in. But you know what? I'm so thankful that we got the safer barriers back here now, because we didn't always have those there.
Crash! It's the big one. What a mess. There's a dozen trucks torn up in this one.
Man, oh man. Look at John Westtown having such a good run running up in the top 10. There's Spencer Gallagher, Cameron Haley in that 13 truck. Chris Fontaine in the 84.
Timothy Peters, his second truck of the day. Johnny Sauter with some damage to that truck. We talked about Peters getting in the back of that lead draft and saying it's time to race.
It may be easier to tell you who's not in this wreck.
Oh. Right on the back straightaway, you're right, Mike. What happened to Ben Kennedy?
Well, Ben Kennedy looked like he had a tire down or something broken.
It was
Michael,
almost
and everybody
stopped.
piled in.
James Busher, the 31, also involved in this incident. Ray Black Jr., the 07, maybe not a whole lot of damage. Ryan Ellis, the 28, gets caught by Daniel Hemrick.
What happened? Kennedy was slow up top, but that didn't really seem to have anything to do with the beginning of that crash.
Right at the bottom, right around where James Busher was.
Yeah, it's like an accordion effect. Once it looked like somebody slowed, and then they started running into each other.
You don't think someone ran out of gas, do you?
It's possible. Within a lap or two, I think, of these guys coming down pit road.
That's about the only thing that could have caused that.
Let's look from Austin Terrio.
Terrio run out of gas?
Okay.
Caution down. Caution down.
Or he slows down for some reason.
He slows down. Lagacy gets in the back of him, and it's just an accordion-like wreck as the trucks behind can't slow down in time.
So many of these trucks with absolutely nowhere to go. Matt Tiff does a nice job going through the grass, and the 25 truck looks like he may have missed everything.
You can follow Miss Sprint Cup as the big one's happening once again, coming out of turn number 4. Into the wall, Kyle Larson. Multiple cars sideways. Martin Truex Jr., a lot of damage to the front end of his car. Eric Almirola also involved. There's Kyle Larson, damage to the front end. Once again, coming out of turn number 4, a tricky spot on this track.
We've seen this time and time again. The 20 tries to come down on the 5. I don't know if he actually makes contact with the 5 or just the air gets him loose. Man, and then it's just a mess, right? When you have trouble in front of that many cars, there's just nowhere to go. You see the 9 spinning, trying to avoid it. Once the smoke is that thick, there's just nowhere to go.
All these cars behind them right now, they're just trying to find somewhere to go, but there just never is. You just keep piling in. You're on the brakes. The guys behind you are running into you. You know, it's just a big. This is plate racing. This is what we talk about. This is what the drivers fear.
Right along with Tony Stewart.
Come in here, back it down. Come down low, come down low, come down low, all the way down, all the way down. Come on down, come on down, come on down. Stay right there, stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. Watch out now.
The vision of these drivers amazed me. It almost sounded like he was out of the gas before we even saw sparks. Like he knew this was not going to work.
You can see Matt Kenseth, he never got touched by Casey Kane. He tried to fill that spot. The air got taken off the back of the car, got loose, around he went, caused a big wreck.
There's that air cushion that Martin Truex Jr. was mentioning earlier. They didn't actually make contact, but around went the 20.
Yeah,
got to keep an eye on the flagman as well.
They're not going to make it. Oh, crash!
And the red and black flag was out. None of them made it back, and on top of that, the big one right here in the tri-oval.
Holy cow.
Remember, Landon Castle took off first. He's in it. Hard contact. There's Daniel Suarez. Blake Cook, the 8 car. Dale Jr. is able to drive through it.
In the season opener, like I said, in 3 hours and 20 minutes, and here's Kyle Busch who says, there's 12 more I really don't have to worry about.
Well, that's tongue-in-cheek. I don't think he's clapping for that. You see that Carlos Contreras, that black car in the middle of the racetrack right there was slow. And see, Kyle Larson's going to squeeze Blake Cook.
I think
that's actually Suarez
was trying to get through the middle, and he just misjudged the room he had to make that move and cause that crash. That was a rookie who was trying to understand exactly how to go about qualifying here at Daytona under this format, and was in a position, got himself in a position that he couldn't get out of. You could see just cut up, clipped the front of Blake Cook's car, and caused the big crash.
Was trying to get in behind Kyle Larson in the 42 car. Didn't quite have the clearance.
Oh, big trouble. That's the rookie Suarez up and over Regan Smith, the big one at Daytona in the tri-oval.
42 turned us right there.
Happens. Kyle Busch was pushing the rookie, giving him a shove here. Kyle Larson, excuse me. And it looks like he just gets him in a bad spot right there, and he just got behind in his steering.
Yeah, he got too far to the right, and coming off of the corner right there, that car unloads as you come off of that banking, and it just took just a little bit too much, and that's that window that you have to push, and if you get outside of the center of that back bumper, the way that the front and back bumpers are curved, it's going to spin that car out.
Remember we said lucky versus good? Here's Chase Elliott.
Watch this.
Right, there's going to be a wreck behind you. Going to be a wreck in the other way. Oh yeah, big wreck behind you. Big wreck behind you.
I saw the 18 wrecking, and then wrecking again, and then wrecking a third time, and there's really nowhere I can go coming off the corner. I'm down as low as I can get right there, and you know, he saved it, and right here I'm in trouble. So unfortunate. You know, I don't know if he got help from behind or whatever, but I do know that he was 2 laps down, and in that situation, you know, you're really not going to get up there and get a lucky dog or anything. So it probably would have been cool to hang out in the back of the pack and maybe let us stay up there and race the way that we were racing.
Oop. Oh, we got a crash.
Crash. Big. Well, yeah, it started to be big.
Oh, it's big now.
It got big.
Another big one in turns 1 and 2 at Daytona. You look at Brian Scott in the 33. Fire underneath that car. He'll have to come to a stop. Fire extinguishers putting that out inside of the car. Involved in this, the 19 of Carl Edwards. It might have been the 33 of Brian Scott that got up underneath him. Take a look at what happens. The 42 of Kyle Larson completely sideways.
He gets down to the apron. You see the sparks where the track bar mount hits the ground. He saves it, but he comes up the track, has no choice but to connect with the 19, who then starts to spin. Brad Keselowski gets a face full of sparks. The 17 does go around, and now the track is blocked. Now these guys are trying to find a hole through, and the 2 gets woed up, and the 3 kind of gets woed up, but then you see Carl Edwards goes back up the track, and here comes Brian Scott with a full head of steam, makes big contact with the back of the 19.
Trying to keep the momentum up.
Brian Scott's in his mirror just looking.
And now up against the wall. He gets into the wall. Brian Scott trying to block into the wall, and he goes. The caution comes out again. Brian Scott doing what you said, trying to slow the momentum down, did it too late. There's the damage to the 2. Led 84 laps.
Trying to roll back to pit road. We're tore up pretty good right side.
See Brian Scott on the bottom, Elliott Saddle on the outside. Elliott's getting a big push. Brian tries to go in front and block, and Elliott's already there. He did what he needed to do. He just did it too late. The move was made too late to try to put the block on. Once they get that far up, you just got to hold your spot and take your punishment.
You see here, there's a big run coming, and the move, it's just, there's nothing he can do. Elliott Sadler is clearly there all the way up to his quarter panel, and when he turns in front of the field, you can see all the debris fly.
Not the homecoming that Clint Boyer wanted. The Emporia, Kansas native. Hard into the wall, and He is out of the car and getting into the back of the ambulance. Take a look. He was running 16th.
See, he gets loose right
Sideways,
there.
yeah.
And ends up overcorrecting and hits the wall really hard. Hard impact.
It's right along with Jeff Gordon.
So hard as a driver when you have to turn the wheel back right. If you don't, you're going to spin out. But when you turn the wheel back right and the front tires catch, this is what happens. So you just got to not turn the wheel back to the right as hard. It's very difficult to do. We see really good race car drivers do this, and every tire is different. You know, the left side tires and right side tires are different. When you turn that wheel back to the right, the left side tires sometimes dig. This is a different tire than we ran last week at Charlotte. So every tire behaves a little bit differently. When he got loose, he just got the wheel turned too far back to the right. Hard impact in the wall.
Robert Mitten into the tire barrier at the exit of turn 8. Michael, that is one of the fastest sections of the racetrack.
Look at that debris flying in the air. Those tires like they were just toys tossed up in the air. But Mitten steps out of his truck, and he's perfectly fine. Even though he can't reach the ground at first,
he's about 4 or 5 feet off the ground.
Problems. Huge hit for Kennedy. The 11 up on the safer barrier. Down off the wall it comes to a grinding halt in the middle of the racetrack.
I'm okay. It's a hard hit.
See, he's racing on the inside of David Gillen. They make a little bit of contact. You see John West Townley was on the outside. He's going to run right into the side of him. Kind of lift that truck up a little bit. Got into the catch fence. For the second week in a row, we've had a vehicle in the catch fence. But again, the catch fence did its job. It kept that truck down on the racetrack, and you see it riding along the top of the safer barrier.
When they got to turn 1, Phil, I think they were 3 wide, and Ben probably thought that's a difficult angle for the spotters to see as well. And I think that Ben probably thought, wow, look how close that truck comes to going over. Probably thought they were just too wide, and he had room to move up a little bit for the corner.
That's what it looked like.
That was incredible how that truck just grinding along that safer barrier.
That's a battery sliding up in the top lane of the racetrack. Let's take a look at it again.
You can see that it was Gillen,
John West Townley in the yellow
West,
truck.
and I think John Gillen was just below John West, and maybe Ben Kennedy felt like they were just too wide and had room to angle himself for the corner, battling for a spot well inside of the top 10. Look at all that debris.
But as you pointed out, Phil, that catch fence doing exactly what it's supposed to do as the axle's just grinding along that safer barrier on the wall.
Wow.
Eric Jones around. Back across the field. The big one, part 2 at Daytona.
Yeah, they can't do this.
Stay high.
Nice straight. Did anybody hit you there, Kel?
A horrific crash for Kyle Busch, who slid through the infield grass and went head on into the inside wall.
Looks like there might have been some contact there.
There you see Kyle, top of your screen. And now we'll go from our blimp view, and there you see Kyle and Eric racing together, and just follow that 54 car after the contact with the white 20.
Like there was some contact there, and Kyle bumps into Larson, and it turns him to the left. Elliott Sadler hit there by Brendan Gaughan.
And there's the 54. You saw the impact. Go on board with Bubba Wallace.
Check up, check up, check up, check up. Mark down, 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 down. Keep rolling hard, keep rolling hard. We're in it, we're in it, we're in it.
And you see Kyle here being tended to by medical officials. And he is alert and obviously talking, and that's a great sign.
And Kenza cleared by Logano. Maybe no. Kenza takes him out. Logano into the wall. Caution comes out and the crowd roars. Helmets coming off of the crew members of the 20. And we have to remind you why this is happening.
Joey, stay in the car.
A couple races ago at Kansas, Matt Kenseth was leading. Joey Logano running second. You can tell how the fans feel about it. The red flag is out as they will have to clean the track up. A couple races ago in Kansas, the team told Joey to stay in the car, but obviously Joey out of the car, not able to continue on. In the latter laps of the race at Kansas, Joey Logano had a faster car than Matt Kenseth. He got behind him. He bumped him going into turn one. He turned Kenseth around. After the race, Kenseth said, "That's not the way I want to be raced. Now I know how he races me." This is what just took place.
And clearly the 22 is lapping the 20, and 20 obviously intentionally wrecked him. And like what happened the week before was more than 2 weeks before was more than it should have been, and just flat wrecked him.
Matt Kenseth already not having the day that he wanted to have. And the opportunity presented itself at a short track.
Still down there, still down there, still down there, still down there.
Once the favorite for the title, Joey Logano out of his car. Matt Kenseth out of his car. It will be an interesting trip to the infield care center.
Oh, and there goes Theriault hard into the wall. And that's Reddick in the 19 that had the problem that kicked it all off with Theriault as he comes grinding to a halt on the front straightaway after a huge, heavy impact here on the front stretch.
There's Reddick high in turn 4 loose. Just about has his truck saved, and along comes Theriault. Look at that right front tire.
Yeah, really nothing Austin can do.
At all.
And Tyler Reddick, he was just fighting to regain control of his truck.
I don't know. We didn't see if anything maybe clipped Reddick and sent him sliding sideways. We just caught it as he was up there fighting for control of that truck. Oh, that's so scary.
It's such a sick feeling for Tyler, watching his teammate turn into the outside wall right in front of him. What a great sight that is right there now.
Oh,
I know his bell's rung, but it's great.
He hit it a ton.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the bottom of the track. Jr. will win at Daytona. And the big one happens behind them.
Oh my God.
The three of Austin Dillon into the catch fence. All the crews getting out to that car to assist these drivers. Thumbs going up from all the crew members, and the crowd roars. Look at the catch fence on the front straight. Crew members pulling. Austin Dillon out, he's walking. The damage to the 4 of Kevin Harvick. What an incredible sight to see Austin Dillon walking away from that 3 car that is demolished.
Yeah, the 11 gets kind of stuck in the middle there and comes across the 4's bumper. As he does, he spins back in, gets the 3 airborne, and he just gets projected off the other cars right up into the fence.
He went from the bottom of the racetrack over 2 rows of cars and into that catch fence.
Here we go. You can see him on the bottom. Rex starts in front. He runs in the back of the 24. Gets up on the 11. Now he's on top of the 55. And now it's just along for the ride. Watch the car stop. Watch the car stop. It gets into those poles, and it goes from, I don't know what, 180, 190 miles an hour, I'm just guessing, to a complete stop. That is unbelievable.
And it looks like a tour. That's 3,500 pounds. That stock car is extremely heavy. And you see here, after he's upside down, the 2 is spinning. Obviously, he's already lost control, makes more contact with the 3.
11 and the 4 to get together. Here we are at the start-finish line.
It just pushes the 3 up into the air enough that it rolls over the top of a car. And then that momentum just continues to move him into the catch fence. Hang on, this will be a wild ride. That was Tony Stewart going underneath the 3.